And then the other guy's like, yeah, he can't have the 7 of clubs. Well, why not? Why not? Because this is the 7 of clubs here in my whole cards. Like,
Thank you very much, Nightbot and Supernova. Thanks for the help.
oh, Nightbot is the man.
Yeah. The man. The machine. I have to change something about this because it's pulling my head.
Oh yeah. I just
Cable is
scooched
too
in. I just put my seat in. All right, so what do we got here? Kings versus Jack. We're not sure, and then an Ace-4.
Federer is so good he doesn't need more than one card. The Jack is good enough. Manuel flatted Federer's raise with kings. That's interesting. Federer flops top pair. He probably doesn't have more than top pair, otherwise he would most likely bet. And after flatting pre-flop, Manuel seems like he's just his strategy is to not 3-bet at all. He flatted earlier from the button against the cutoff raise with ace queen. Now he's flatting kings. And interesting strategy. Let's see how it works out. Bets the flop. Easy bet with pocket kings. Boris calls with bottom pair in the ace kicker. Federer is just going to call as well, I suppose. Jack 10 is his hand, okay. So yeah, he's got some backdoor straight draws going on. Let's see what the turn brings. It's pretty much a blank. Looks like Federer is thinking about doing something. Kind of. Well, let's see how he sizes. Because Federer is definitely balanced in the spot, and he might be doing this with something like 7-5 suited for the stronger hands. Then also some bluffs. He could do it with, let's say, 8-9. Let's say he called with this gut shot with the 8-9 on the flop. Now he has a double belly buster. That's good to draw to his outs. River is another 5. So he's trying to decide if he should go really big or not. And I know he does like the overbet, which we saw earlier in the hand where he had the ace queen. He overbet the river. And
what do you bet?
50k? 51? No. 28. Yeah, sixes can bluff, but I think if sixes bluff...
Told you he was laying it down.
No, he called.
What the hell?
He called.
He called?
Yeah, he put the chips in
In
and
that
then he
case, I told you he was calling to see what he had.
Whichever way, but you told me, right?
Yeah. I told you. Called it.
I think if Blaschke had sixes, he would... I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. Federer opens on the mentioned dealer button with queen 6 offsuit, and Julian Thomas with pocket 3s in the big blind going to defend.
Did he just check?
But I think he had an oversized chip, and that's why he...
okay.
Pretty innocuous looking board for the threes. Very likely still good, but Federer did hit the 6. Continuation bets, and Julian calls the flop. 9 or higher, he's gonna bet again.
I don't know.
And you'll still not know what to do.
The best part is there's still a deuce on the board. He can beat the deuce.
Yeah.
He can beat the deuce.
But
that is not a good card.
Whatever card comes on the turn, he's gonna check, and Federer's gonna bet, and then what? Actually, Federer might check this card because he actually has a hand. So let's see what the river is. Another ace. So Federer is probably gonna value bet this once Julian checks, because what are these orange chips? 10k? Oranges.
He bet 15.
So that must be a 25k chip, right?
Yeah.
If he put one in. So you have the yellow were 1k, pink was
1K.
500,
Pink was 5. Purple, yeah, violet was 5K.
5k, and the black 100s
Black
are
100s
out. I
already
think.
out, yeah.
I think the 24k is including the. Wait a second. He raised to 7k, so that's 7, 14, 17. And he must have bet this flop really small. Must have been like 3k. Oh no, there's 7k ante, right? Or 6k. That's strange. So I don't know how much he bet on the flop, but he must have bet the flop. I mean, he did bet the flop. So the graphics here was wrong. Then on the other hand, it's weird why he bets only 15k if the pot is bigger. I'm not sure. I'll try to pay better attention to the. I mean, now we know what each chip is worth, so. It's okay. So fader under the gun, 7-6 offsuit, easy fold.
Yep.
Bernhard with the min raise in the hijack, I think. Yep. With pocket eights.
Thomas has an overcard. Maybe 2.
He says re-raise, I think. How much did he make it? 18k.
18, okay.
That's a 3x re-raise, and Bernhard is not going anywhere with this hand. The only thing that's interesting here is how long is he going to take before he announces he's all in. And I'm curious about Thomas's other card. If it's another 10, he's going to call. If it's not, he's going to fold. Want to turn it off?
No, I'll try to
Ah, yeah.
get more room.
Absolutely.
Right? Makes sense.
And he insta-called with 10. Also, the color of his hair is
Yeah.
natural. And it's real hair.
And oh Jesus, look at this thing. We got some excitement.
That's not the kind of set you want to flop with pocket tens.
And
Ooh, there's a straight.
Oh.
And now an 8 for
Fair
the
the board.
split pot. But everyone is enjoying.
Give him a set. Give him a set. Give him a set.
And no help for the pocket tens. Well. But nobody. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's having
Yeah.
a good time. That's what I like about these. Also, when you're like a big sports person, I think somebody like Boris Becker, he can just get a new advertising deal and get a couple million for nothing. You know, it's like, what does it mean having 50 million debt? I mean, Donald Trump is 10 billion in debt probably, but he's still getting
More than
money
that for sure.
from everybody.
Way more than that.
You know, like, it's not like when I'm 100k in debt, it's a problem. You know, I can't just get another 100k somewhere.
Killing me.
What are you talking about? What's 24?
He said the mayor of San Juan is an amazing person. She is.
Oh, okay. Are you really from Gibraltar? Gibraltarian? And Brandmeier makes the call, and let's see if Becker has ace queen, king queen, or queens. I think it's queens.
Yep,
Yes.
it's queens.
You make a pair and the back the flush draw, you're not gonna fold the flop. Almost. Double. So Boris doubles up.
It's kind of how I feel about poker in general.
Boris Becker in the small blind with an ace.
All right, get him,
And
Boris.
When you sit there with 16 big blinds and the big blind is feeder holds, you're just putting your chips in as, and he doesn't, and he gets called by the jack 7 of hearts. Feeder flops a gut shot here. Let's see what. I mean, if Boris has aces, that's the only hand you can raise smaller. Because every other hand, he makes a small raise, the guy calls him, now he's out of position and he's gonna get outplayed. It was kind of obvious that was gonna happen. Fedor checks behind, doesn't want to get raised off his hand. Like he doesn't want to bet and then gets check raised all in. He has to fold his hand. He makes a straight on the turn.
Yeah.
Apparently the software knows that Boris does not have a club in his hand, or a jack, or a queen, because it says 100%.
100% apparently.
And now Boris bets. So he does have a club, right? He wouldn't bet if he doesn't have a club.
But no, it says he has no outs.
Federer's just gonna go all in here. I think there's too many scare cards. Like, on one hand, you don't want your opponent to be able to fold if the scare card comes, and also, or to draw out on you.
Kannst du mir sagen, wenn ihr Chip Race habt? Ich muss den Stream neu starten. Keine Ahnung, warum das nicht. Ich muss den Server ändern. Einstellungen gehen nicht besser. Ich schreib dir.
Thank you, Poker Bras.
I think he made a small raise from 14 to 32, and Boris just calls, right?
Yep.
So he does have the jack of clubs. What else can he have? Jack of clubs. Must be.
Queen of clubs.
Maybe queen of clubs. Maybe he slow played with the ace of... yeah, it's already there. Sorry, I'm still...
Alright, I'm gonna have to bust out my Google Translate. Deswegen ist der Boris...
Pleite means broke.
Okay, okay.
Deswegen is that's why. Yeah, I thought he might have slow played ace with the ace of clubs, but it's just the ace queen high and he check folds the river. In the next break, when we have a chip race, the stream is going to be restarted, and then the chip counts will all be okay again.
Oh, nice.
And Boris is left with around 15k. Yeah. It makes tons of sense. Like for the dealers, it's a lot easier.
A lot easier. Listen, from what I've noticed, we're not complete, we're not dicks about it. We don't enforce it ridiculously. I guess they're doing
But you have to be fair, right? You can't.
Yeah, we're fair. We're come on, give me your cards. You know, we'll give you a second. But if you start milking it like that asshole on the final table of the main event, what was it? I can't remember what the hell. Like this dude was taking the maybe. It was just some asshole who just kept taking 2 hours in hand.
I remember, yeah.
But
that was ridiculous.
Yes.
And Thomas is, what are you thinking about? You called the raise with ace 4 and now you're flopped a pair with the backdoor nut flush draw and you're thinking about it? It's like
Yep. You heard me, Bruce. I'm taking my opportunity now.
No, that's not how it works. Calling people pieces of shit does not make you a piece of shit, no. Some people are a piece of shit, and if you say it, it's...
I mean, actually, I don't know him personally. He might not be. Sorry, guys, but...
Yeah, maybe.
This is the way I feel from what I see, from what I've seen.
Compared to off the tables. But... if you're just being annoying to everyone around you, it's just stupid.
Yeah, actually, we had in Vegas. We have a bunch of different casinos where most of us, when we get off work, we'll go and start up our own mix game. It's a lot of times a dealer's mix game, or just friends that set up mix games. Yeah, shout out to Bruce, also known as Badoogie Hauser. He just loves playing Badoogie.
It's a nice game. Limit or
limit? We'll play a 4-8 limit game. A lot of fun.
Here in this casino, sometimes there's a mixed game. Usually 4-8. And they play like deuce, sometimes badoogie, stud 8, some raz, sometimes like all sorts of mixed games. It's not a regular thing, it's just whenever the right people are here.
Yeah.
Some regulars that are tired of grinding, they just sit there and play all these games. Meanwhile, Brandlmeier in the small blind with pocket nines, put Arthur Coronel in, who has the ace jack,
Oh,
and gets a lot of help on the flop. Down to 2 outs for Brandlmeier. How about the 9 of clubs on the turn?
come on, give us some.
Oh, that's boring. Boom. Ice cold, huh? You sit there with the ace jack, you have the ace of clubs. Yeah, 5-card PLO games are also available in Vienna
Oh, really?
sometimes.
Nice.
Even in the casino sometimes, but there's private games, like nice little games where you can play. QTN 88. Cannot answer you that question. We have no idea how many even started, but I'll find out in the next break. I'll see how many entries we have and how many are left. I think another side event started because on this tournament clock right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just starting another one, yeah.
Can you see what the buy-in is? Oh, is it? Maybe it's a satellite for the main event.
115. Yeah, €115. Yeah, QT, they're still taking tournament entries, so we don't know how many players are left.
So here Thomas opened with the Jack 10 suited under the gun. Gets called in 3 spots and it goes check through on the flop. And Fedor makes the nuts on the turn.
Surprise, surprise!
And of course somebody has an 8.
I'm amazed. Normally this happens on the river after the money's in and stuff. I can't believe he got this unlucky to get it on the turn. Poor guy.
And another guy has top 2. Once Bernhard calls this bet, his hand very much looks like an 8.
I'm curious, what is Thomas gonna do? He's folding his 2 pair.
I mean, he knows that
Yeah,
that guy, the
Yeah.
guy who does call on the flop, he
has at least an 8.
yeah. So easy fold, yeah. Well played. Could have bet the flop, of course, but
Yeah.
in the turn there's nothing you can do. Deuce of clubs. That's a hard. That might
Slow him down? Nah.
at least he cannot just bet the pot now. If he bets huge, Bernhard it's gonna fold because the only bluff just got there. Or semi bluff. I know something queen something of hearts or something, king something of hearts. No.
Yeah. Sorry, wise guy. He could be wearing a pair of flip-flops and run like a god.
Actually, like all joking aside, Fedor does not run better than anybody else. It's just, I mean,
He's good.
he's just really fucking good.
Yeah, he is.
Of course, these last 2 years when he won all those big live tournaments, he ran good in the good spots. But
No, that's the same thing with Ivy. Ivy's an amazing player, but he also just gets there on like the most amazing time. Like it's somebody who can take advantage of the good luck. People who run really good,
yeah,
and they piss it all away.
I remember there was a hand between Ivy and Tom Dwan. They were playing 300, three-handed hold'em in England, I think, and he lost a 600k pot or 800k pot, where he got it in with the ace deuce against the 7-6 on the 3-4-5 something. Like they both had a gut shot on the flop, and then turn comes the gut shot, and it's just wheel against 7 high straight, and they get in like 300 or 400k. Like,
Yep.
These things also happen to Ivy and to every player, but when someone is so good, you feel like you forget about these things when they don't run good.
Cody says, I'm either the worst or the unluckiest player ever. I like to believe that I am both.
And probably everybody is not as good as they think they are.
Jesus, I'm even worse than I think I am. Incredible. And it was $1 million pot, they said. What is it?
$1 million pot? Okay, sorry. No.
Well, you might have been right. 600K each.
No, I thought it was something like 800K, but if you say it's $1 million, it's $1 million. Feder bets again, and Bernhard calls. That would have been a crazy good fold, but the thing is, people just don't want to fold against Feder. You know, Feder bets, you call. That's
Really?
that's the only thing you can do when he bets. You just call.
That's the image this kid has.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do but call.
Cool. Good luck, Queen B.
And Bernhard is all in the small line with the king 4 and his short stack. And then Thomas calls him with ace 3. That's a decent flop. But still 6%. Ah, there's a back to flush draw, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think everybody's just in the same boat when it comes to poker and Twitch, and everybody's cool with each other. We actually had a meetup where most of the guys from Vegas that played on there went to a tournament at the Rio.
Mm-hmm.
We all hung out and we all hung out and played.
Bernhard raises under the gun with the ace-6 suited? I think they're 5-handed, right? That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, so under the gun is... Sounds like he's very loose, but...
And here we go again.
There's the king. Completely dry flop. Probably gonna go...
The board is completely different than the way it's put. Yeah.
Bernhard with a small bet, which I like a lot with his stack. There is no reason to bet bigger. Also, when Feder doesn't have a pair, he's just gonna fold this flop. That's not the kind of flop he's gonna float you out of position with. On.
Oh, we got us a nut flush draw.
This turn, he might just jam, because if Feder has a 7, he's gonna fold. It's 39k into 59. And Feder is defending so many hands in the big blind that he very often has a 7. As the cards are, of course, he's not gonna fold. If Bernhard goes all in here.
Suspense is killing me.
What's happening right now?
Fedor
Is Bernhard still thinking? He bets
Fedor just bet
15k.
15k.
Wow, that.
Servus. Was ist die?
It's a very interesting bet. I mean, I think it should be enough it's designed to make a 7 fold, and it should be enough to make a 7 fold. The king's not gonna fold, of course. And now, does he really have 24k behind in a 90k pot? This is, numbers seem off. He's not gonna. I mean, he's gonna check back, I think. Maybe he thinks there's a tiny chance he has the best hand with a6. Although there's none. There's not a chance he has the best hand. Federer's not calling with a deuce, I think, twice. Maybe like queen deuce of hearts. And he does go all in. That must be more than 24k. That's 100 and... I know. 45? 46? I think the red ones are 500, eh?
Yeah.
So 46. I mean, it's not a big difference between 24 and 46, but when the pot is 100k or 90k, that's all the difference in the world. That's a very good bluff. I mean, Federer only beats a bluff. And the fact that he's really thinking about it with King 9 means that he would definitely fold a 7. No, shoving turn is not good. You have a top pair. Like, the only reason to shove the turn against this turn bet is because you're scared of making a river decision. You shouldn't be scared of tough decisions. You should embrace them, and you'll get better.
All right, wise guy says he's calm.
Trying. He's not getting 5-1. The bet is 46, not 24. The pot is wrong. It was a 46k bet into 89, so he's getting almost exactly 3-1, like 2.9 or something. I think he's gonna fold. Especially this river, even something like 8-9 of hearts just got there, you know, like say he was betting the flop with 8-9 of hearts.
Nope.
No.
He called it.
Almost looked like a slow roll, huh? He showed in the 6 first. But he probably said good call or something. Yeah, he just doesn't make wrong decisions, you know. His decisions are almost always right. Now we're four-handed, huh?
No, they're gonna probably move players over.
Brundelmeyer, I think, just told the dealer I don't want to play four-handed. Get some more players here. Fighter had 100k, he would... I mean, of course, he might fold Federer, but I think this hand he would still call. He's blocking the straight. He does not have a heart, so that makes it way more likely that Bernhard was bearing the turn with hearts. Like say he had like King 10 with a 10 of hearts, he might fold that if the shove was bigger. But King 9 without a heart, he's blocking the straight, he's blocking missed flush draws. I mean, he's not blocking missed, unblocking missed flush draws.
Yeah.
So, like if you want to call with King 9 sometimes, but not always, you call those that don't have a heart. I don't think this break is going to be long. They're probably just waiting for another player from another table. Or 2 or 3. This is quicker.
There we go.
I think I should get a drink as well. It's gonna be a long night.
I'm definitely encouraging it. It's only 8 o'clock. I got my second rum and coke. My second double rum
Thing
and
is,
coke.
I don't drink often, but when I do, I like certain
Dos Equis?
drinks. Huh?
Dos Equis?
What's-
Never mind, it's an ad. I don't often
Okay.
drink beer, but when I do.
Ah, okay, yeah. Sounds familiar.
But when you do, what do you drink?
I like some nice whiskey, but they don't have.
That good a Rick's?
I think they have like one that's kind of decent.
Well, there's a reason why my Twitch handle is Hit and Rum.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Brevilary jams the button here with her 9 big blinds and 7-6 suited. I
Dear
guess
God,
that's-
do not ruin my night.
I guess that's standard.
Give her a boat.
There's a 7. There's a
I see
7.
I see
7 and jack. What? There was a 7. The 3 looks like a 7, right?
That dealer is just messing with us.
Oh, come on. Put the 7 there.
6 or 7. I don't like to root against players, but yeah, I do. The hell with it. He knocked her out. He sucks.
You don't, but yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. All right, we got to raise. All right, we got King 8 of Spades versus Pocket Sixes. Offsuit. Flop 7, 5, 8. Pair of 8s are in the lead, but we got a lot of outs for those pocket sixes.
Did Jan Peter just call the button with King 8? Thank you. Jan Peter called the raise with King 8 on the button, right? And Adam bet here, and he's just gonna go all in, right? The guy has so few chips. And Marjanovic cannot fold. The E should be an A, by the way. The E in his last name is should be an A.
Marjanovic? Marjanovic?
Marjanovic.
Marjanovic.
Yeah. Back in the 90s, when there was a lot of people from Yugoslavia in Germany, and they watched a lot of NBA. And you know, like all the Yugoslavian names, they have IC at the end, and it's Ich.
Yeah,
It's pronounced Ich. So they were all fans of the Orlando Magic.
You serious? Nice. Because of the
Orlando Magic.
Because of the player.
There was some Yugoslavian player, right?
Yeah.
So they were all fans of the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, we also had Vladi Divac was in there back in the day.
Divac.
Fine.
It could
Divac.
be. It could be Divac. AC could be Divac. He was creation, I think. Yeah. Didn't he? He played for the Magic.
I'm not sure if he played for the Magic. I know he played for the NBA, which was like a
Yeah.
big, huge thing.
There was Tony Kukoc for the
Yeah,
Bulls.
Kukoc.
I mean, that was when Shaq played for Orlando,
Magic,
right?
Yeah. Penny Hardaway and Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here we go.
I think Adam's gonna get there. A club on the turn.
Wow.
And you cannot bet fold this on the turn. Oh, come on, 6. Wow.
Seriously?
He just keeps them coming. The thing is, I think Yachtman very rarely plays Hold'em, so
He's still waiting for 2 extra cards.
no, like the way he plays this game, I think is his understanding of poker is more fitting to Omaha. So I think he might make some plays that are not considered standard. Meanwhile, the button raised was King Queen, and he went all in with King Queen, and Frank from the small blind called with Ace 3.
This time it was a 7. I thought it was a 3.
Yeah, if you just look at the very top,
Ooh.
gut shot for the King Queen, and 3.
There we go. Hofer's got pocket 8s. Alright, here we go.
Tony, you want to take a break? He'll join me for a minute.
Yeah, sure.
You can pick something and order, and then. Sorry. Now we're live. Sorry. We're muted. I have another co-commentator with me for just a couple, for a while. Arthur Corin.
Hello. You have to do this and play every game separate or different, and then you also play the 20 tables of tournaments, and you also play hypers, and everything has its own strategy. And then he plays stars, and then he plays party and other sites as well. Exactly. And you can't even follow. And really, if I wouldn't have seen it with my own eyes, I would think the guy's a bot or whatever. Yeah. But I can vouch. I can vouch for this guy not using. He's like most of the time he's lazy to like open up Hold'em Manager and just like playing without stats just to play and own souls. Yeah, really, the guy is.
He's a fucking machine. Yeah.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I can say he plays really good.
And on top of that, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's so awesome dude. Yeah, he's like,
absolutely.
To me, he's like my little brother. Whatever.
You're a bit older, huh?
Yeah, he's
24, 25, 24, right?
I think he's 23 actually.
23 even?
Yeah,
he's younger than Fedor, isn't he?
He's definitely younger than Fedor. He's basically same age as Christopher Frank. Yeah. I think they're either 22 or 23, but definitely not 24, for sure not.
And he went to Vegas for what, 3 days and shipped the bracelet? Or how long was he there?
No, he came in and then just shipped it. We were...
No, what? In total, he was there just for the main event and this one tournament, right?
No, Jens, no.
No,
not
longer?
this year. Yeah, it was longer. But he basically.
I thought I saw him play online just a couple days before and after.
But it was still like a cool story, kind of. I mean, I can tell it whatever. I remember it was like me and then a couple other German racks. I think Ole was one of them because Ole didn't want to really.
Just a second, this hand, because this is going to be huge.
This is a huge.
I mean, okay, Jens is short stacked. Of course, he has aces when the other guys have sevens and ace king.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Jens. Oh, seventh fold. I thought he's gonna call, which would be weird.
Yeah, there's too much action.
I like Henning, but I root for Fresh. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, you were saying about.
So, yeah.
You went to Vegas together.
Yeah, we
Group of-
basically were hanging out in the room, whatever. That's what you do in Vegas. And then it was the late rage was about to close, and then Ole didn't want to play, but Fresh also didn't want to really go by himself. Oh, we could see a chop pot, four chops it. Other than that, yeah,
Still
that's
doesn't change anything.
That doesn't change anything. We're
Is he
down
waiting
to
now?
a 4 or 2.
What's this break for? Just put the card
I think
down.
it's the guys in the back who do the board. You see, now the boards, they have to catch up. Yeah, and a 3, and that's double up
Close,
for
but-
Jens.
So he's definitely in contention now.
Yeah, when the 4, although when the 4 would peel off, then Paul would have won, if it would have been all in.
Ah, yeah, the highest rate.
just a little deal in case he listens to it. He probably doesn't. So yeah, so he didn't want to go to the tournament by himself, and then Ole said, "Let's swap 25% or something."
It was a mixed game, right?
Yeah, it was big bet mix. It's basically all the big bet games. It's not
High low as well, right?
Yeah, but it's
So-
like it's not limit or pot or it's just a little bit of pot limit, but it's
Mostly
basically
no.
no limit, and